I hope the general message that you get from everything that I do is to get back up and do it again repeatedly, to know that, these sort of images that you see on on TV or, popular culture that um are not real, right? The realness is in the fact that you try to get back up and do it again. And, if you were to look at all of the people that sort of sell a certain message, they're completely fake, right? They're all ripped out. So for guys, they're ripped out, they're all in steroids, really big, they're usually wearing some sort of suit, they're driving a fancy car, like the basic stuff. And, the whole thing is fake. And they're selling to you something that is just, it's a completely ridiculous story. And then, for a lot of the, women that are out there, they've got all of these different implants, you know, fancy purses, just you name it. And the story that you see on popular culture is not real. Like these are people that are not really telling you anything, and it's not helpful. I think for me, what's helpful is to know that there's somebody else that's trying, to know that everything that I do is imperfect. And it feels like I want to it feels like you just don't know what you're doing. And it feels like I got so many doubts. And I am really, I mean, you really struggle every day, right? Like it's not something that comes easy. To get back up, whether you're doing PhD life, to get back up and repeat, that's pretty hard because of the constant rejection that you get, and the amount of effort that you put into things. And it's such a personal thing that you feel it, right? Like you actively engage, you feel it, and then it's like this sort of torment inside, right? And then on top of it, there's this like standard of you need to meet this sort of performance standard, and you haven't got a clue how to do it. And then, just for every day, for most people, if they're building something like this. How on earth do you know what actually works? Other than when you just simply try things and you see, okay, well, that did not work. Or, well, that really resonated. And the only way that you could do that is just to repeat, to figure it out, to stumble along, to try to engage, to be, I mean, you're really just always on the edge of, I don't know what I'm doing. This is, you know, not working out. I'm foolish. Like I'm standing out like a sore thumb. You feel like that, like all of these emotions, right? Like all of these things. And then when you go to the public domain, you sort of project that you have it all together, that you're solid inside. But it's really the backdrop of doing the work, right? That's sort of solid, that you got it all together, you know what the answers are, that, oh, you just simply do this, this, and this. That's not real. That is the public persona that you play. The opposite, no matter where you are, what stage, even if you're, vastly a CEO, highly successful CEO, you don't know. And that's where all of your things come out. That all of this sort of things from when you were growing up, from when you're a kid, that comes out, and it really becomes apparent. It was really interesting speaking, and I was telling my mom because I mean, I clearly you see, and um, man, I hope my mom is around forever. Um, and because just sometimes you just need to hear that. And, so as you can see, I question myself, is this like an appropriate thing to do? And, because, various different incidents lately sort of led me to question myself. It's a realization, yeah, this is really expensive. Yes, this is a lot of work. Um, and is it all worth it? Right. And, ultimately what it comes down to, and this is my mom's such a sweet person. Um, she stops and talks to anybody on the street. Now, when I was a kid, that was really, really annoying because she stops and talks to everybody on the street. I mean, literally everybody. And, she was talking about how she knits socks. She really loves to knit. Um, and then she gives them to homeless people on the street. And a lot of people don't get it. Um, but, every once in a while, she was telling how there was this one person she gave it to, and they were just ecstatic. And I think that's all that matters, is that if there's one person that's out there that needs it at any point in time, I mean, I think that is worth it. At least, in my view, that is somewhat worth it. We sort of think about all of this stuff to be scalable, that you're not doing anything that is as valuable unless you got millions of people that engage in this thing, or the leaders of all of these, the big leaders of the world interact with the thing that you're doing. And if that doesn't happen, then you're not, somehow it doesn't matter, right? But when I think about my mom, um, nobody knows who she is, right? Like, nobody knows who she is. And she gives socks to people on the street. She knits them herself. She's got a whole bunch of wool that sits there, and it takes a lot of time and effort. And she just gives them away. And 9 out of 10 people don't really care about it, right? Like, they're probably like, oh, whatever. But then the one person it really resonates with and it really gets them. And now, is that going to be the moment that it changes who they are? Likely no, but there is that chance that it does. And it becomes the moment in their life where they think about, I changed myself because some random lady gave me some socks and believed in me. And, you know, it's fascinating because that was always part of my life growing up. My mom was always very, it was mostly my mom. My dad was very charitable in different ways, but mostly my mom was very charitable in that she's a really outgoing person, very, very chatty. Um, and, just very chatty. If you knew her, you'd be like, oh, um, but, but at the same time, you never know when that little message, the sort of chattiness, actually matters. Um, and yeah, so here's to everybody that is trying to give out socks. All it takes is one person, and then you can get back up and you can do it again. What you're doing actually does matter. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.